Welcome, students. The line shape, the ideal line shape of a laser, output laser, must be strictly monochromatic, but it is not always possible due to variety of reasons. Let us discuss why it is so. You know that an excited atom emits its energy in the form of spontaneous emission. The rate of decrease of level 2 due to the downward transitions is directly proportional to the number of atoms present at level 2 that we see from here. dN2 by dt equal to minus A21 N2, where A21 is the Einstein coefficient for spontaneous emission. If we integrate this, assuming A21 to be constant, we obtain N2 equal to N20 exponential minus A21 into T. This I can write in terms of the spontaneous lifetime as we discussed earlier. So I obtain this rate equation in terms of here time t minus A21 N20 N2 naught exponential minus A21, and you can write it as T by T spontaneous. The emitted energy per unit volume per unit time per unit volume must be equal to the number density by time in the dimensions of into photon energy. So I can write the energy, emitted energy, and this is the rate of decrease. Substituting this, I obtain the energy. But you know that intensity is proportional to the amplitude squared. I have the amplitude here. E at t time, I take its square, the square of the amplitude, then I obtain E naught into phase into exponential of minus t by twice t spontaneous. Now the spectrum of radiation can be expressed as Et exponential, this is the phase time temporal phase into dt, because this is how it varies with time. On substituting this, we obtain here phase factor. E naught is constant, so I take it out, and the temporal factor into the frequency of the phase factor due to frequency of radiation. So rearranging it and integrating it, we obtain the easily the steps can be performed, and we obtain the spectrum of the amplitude as E naught by iota the omega minus omega naught plus 1 over twice T spontaneous. T is equals to 0 is the time at which the atoms start emitting radiation. The power spectrum is proportional to intensity or the amplitude square of the amplitude. So on substituting this factor, what I obtain, I make the square of this thing, then K1 E0 square and take its magnitude squared of the denominator, I obtain the power spectrum is this follows. This is a new constant in fact, K omega minus omega naught square plus 1 over 4 T spontaneous square. This is defined as the line shape function. It is associated with spontaneously emitted transitions. You know from the property of line shape function that integral g omega d omega is equal to 1. So from here we easily obtain the constant k. On substituting this, I obtain the line shape function 1 over 2 pi t spontaneous into this factor, and rearranging it I obtain g omega is equals to 2 t spontaneous by pi, cancelling one power from here and dividing by 4 into this factor. I obtain 1 over 1 plus 4 t spontaneous square omega minus omega naught square. This is called the line shape Lorentzian line shape function. As I told you earlier, the Lorentzian line shape function is bit flat. Now let us calculate its FWHM, that means full width at half maximum. Its full width is here at omega is equals to omega naught here. So we obtain at that value d omega maximum twice t spontaneous by pi. See here, it can be easily realized. So half of this quantity will be t spontaneous by pi at omega is equals to omega naught. Now equating this, I solve for omega. So the frequency interval, that means the band frequency band comes out to be half of this, twice of this rather, 1 over 2, 1 over t spontaneous. So in terms of, if I substitute for t spontaneous, I get this quantity in terms of delta w. So g omega delta omega is equals to 2 over pi 1 over 1 plus 4 omega minus omega naught square by delta w square. At omega is equals to omega naught, it comes out to be 2 by pi. So next we shall study the Doppler broadening.